Tonight's fireside story is not for the faint of heart. Some tales remind us that no matter how powerful we believe we are, no one escapes fate. Tonight's story is called The Masque of the Red Death by Edgar Allan Poe. Long ago, a terrible plague swept across the land. They called it the Red Death. The disease was swift and deadly. Its victims suffered sharp pains, dizziness, and bleeding from the pores. Within half an hour, they were dead. But Prince Prospero was not afraid. The prince was wealthy, powerful, and bold. While the plague devastated the countryside, Prospero gathered 1,000 of his closest friends. Together, they fled to one of his fortified abbeys. The gates were sealed. No one could enter, and no one could leave. Inside the walls, there would be music, laughter, and endless celebration. The prince believed they could simply wait for the plague to pass. Months passed. The Red Death continued outside the walls. But inside the abbey, Prince Prospero held a grand masquerade ball. The palace contained 7 strange rooms, each decorated in a different color. Blue, purple, green, orange, white, violet, and the final chamber was black. Black walls, black carpets, and deep red windows. Few guests dared enter that room. Inside the black chamber stood a massive clock, a clock made of ebony. Every hour, its deep chime echoed through the halls. And whenever it rang, the music stopped, the dancers froze, and the guests fell silent. For a brief moment, everyone remembered the world outside. Then the music would begin again. But one night, as the masquerade reached its height, a stranger appeared among the guests. His costume was unlike any other. He wore the garments of a corpse. His face resembled that of a dead man. And worst of all, his clothes were stained with blood. The blood of the Red Death. When Prince Prospero saw the figure, he was filled with fury.
Who dares mock us like this?
The prince demanded.
Seize him!
But none of the guests moved. The stranger slowly walked through the colored rooms. Blue, purple, green, orange, white, violet, until he reached the black chamber. At last, Prince Prospero rushed forward. Sword in hand, he confronted the masked figure. But before he could strike, the prince fell dead upon the floor. The terrified guests rushed forward. They grabbed the stranger and tore away the mask. But beneath the costume, there was nothing. No face, no body. Only the presence of the Red Death. One by one, the guests collapsed. The plague had found them. The great clock stopped. The flames died. And darkness and decay and the Red Death ruled over all. Some stories remind us that wealth cannot save us, walls cannot protect us, and fate cannot be escaped. This has been The Masque of the Red Death by Edgar Allan Poe. Join me next time for another fireside story with SmokeyN1NJA.